This is reteach video number 1 for the PS1 standard in the waves and electromagnetic radiation unit. We're going to split this these reteach activities into 5 different videos. We're going to start with section 1, then we're going to move on to section 2, 3, and 4. So section 1 will be 2 different videos, and this is video number 1. First, let's go over what the standard actually reads. So it says, PS1, I can use mathematical thinking to describe the characteristics of waves, including amplitude, frequency, and wavelength, and relate how the characteristics affect physical observations, including pitch, loudness, and type of EM wave. So that's a lot of words, so let's kind of break that down. Really what we're looking at is what are the relationships between these words and these words down here, right? So if I increase amplitude, what happens to the loudness? If I decrease the wavelength, what happens to the pitch? And so we're going to be looking at those relationships throughout this reteach activity. There is a Google form that goes along with this, and so you need to fill that out as we go through these reteach activities. So the very first thing we're going to start with is the definitions of key vocabulary. This can be found on Quizlet. I have a Quizlet class that you can access, and there are 15 different vocabulary words. Please notice that you are not studying transverse, mechanical, EM wave, and longitudinal. Those words are not going to be tested on this quiz. EM wave we will get to at a later time. So we're going to start here with just some basic terminology. And so we're just going to go through these flashcards. So the very first one is wave. A wave is just a disturbance that transfers energy from place to place. So if we go to our drawing tool, we can draw a wave here, and we can insert a wave that looks like this. And so this is a wave, right? And the energy of the wave is carried through. And so the energy moves through the wave, okay? And so that's what a wave is. And the energy is transferred from down here all the way through, just like on the ocean. We also have the word amplitude. Amplitude is the distance from crest to trough to rest crest or trough to rest position. It's the height of the wave, the intensity, or the strength. And so we show amplitude from rest to crest, or from rest, to trough. And so this is the amplitude of the wave, and we're going to label that amplitude. And sorry, this is my first time using this app, so it's not the best. I'm just going to label it amp. Back to our flashcards, we have frequency. Frequency is how many waves move past a point in a certain amount of time, so number of waves per second. So we can draw frequency in many different ways. We can have a really frequent wave, and we can have a less frequent wave, and so we can do that by doing this. This would be a wave that is really frequency, has a high frequency. This would be a wave that has a low frequency. You can notice if we count up the number of waves, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we only have 1, 2. So this wave is much more frequent than the other one. You could also think about it like how often do you frequent Target or the grocery store or your favorite restaurant. If you often go there, then that means you frequently go there. You go there more times than none. I am going to start a new page. All right. Going on, we have wavelength. And so wavelength is the distance from crest to crest or trough to trough. And so if we look at our wave again, right, we can draw our wave. If we look at our wave, we have wavelength, which is the distance from crest to crest or trough to trough, right? And so from this point to this point, and this point to this point. And we're going to look at the relationship between wavelength, frequency, and amplitude and pitch. Going back, we have pitch. And pitch is just how high or low a sound is. And so we're going to continue this in the next video.